Well, hello everyone. What is no? I'm pretending like I was surprised. Hey, I turned on my own camera. Surprise! But no, it's not a surprise. It's not a surprise at all. Katie, thanks for being with us. For those of you that joined us, I can't see who's on Facebook, and thanks for being here. For those of you that are listening to the recording, today is Good Friday up here in Fargo, North Dakota, where I'm at. It's Saturday morning down in Australia, where some of you are at, and wherever you might be in the different time zones. So welcome to the call. I think I've got some exciting information. You know, each week we get together, Katie and I get together and do this call. And for those of you who join us each week, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. You know, I was saying earlier that, you know, there's a lot of other things you could be doing. People ask me, well, why do you do this call on Friday night? Why don't you do it on Mondays? Why don't you do it on Tuesdays? Why don't you? Well, here's why. We used to do calls during the week for the team, and we found out that it was too hard to make the call available to everyone across continents, Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere. Right now, it's Saturday morning down in Australia. It's somewhere around noontime or early afternoon down in New Zealand. And it's Friday night up here in North America. And so it just seemed to work out pretty good that way. Otherwise, you know, people are working Monday through Friday. So if I did an evening call here during the week, well, then it would be a weekend or a weekday morning when a lot of people are working. And so we decided to host these calls on Friday nights. And I guess, you know, we've been doing that now for probably about 6 years, every Friday night. And we try and get together. There was a time frame where we quit doing every week and we went to every other week because corporate came on board and they liked the idea of being able to do a Friday afternoon, Friday evening call. And I didn't want to interfere with that. I thought that, you know, if we had one call per week, then it was plenty. But what I found out is that the topic, the material that corporate goes over and the material that I go over, the material that Katie goes over, it's different. It's just different. And I decided last year that we had to go back and start doing some of these calls, because when you're building a team, there's certain things that you need to have in order to make it work. And I think explaining the opportunity is really, really important. Explaining the opportunity to people so that they understand what the opportunity that they're really getting into with Sisel. Now, I like to use my own life experiences because I can relate to it. And I hope that for those of you that are listening to the call live, for those of you that are, you know, listening to the recording, I hope that you can somehow relate to it as well. You know, once people find out that you're doing network marketing, you're doing direct sales, you're doing this sort of business, this, you know, even if you call it a pyramid idea, you know, it seems like they come knocking on your door all the time with their shiny new object. I'm going to call it the shiny new object, right? And I call it that because it's distracting. You know, you get something shiny over here and people go look at it. You have something shiny over here and people go look at that. And, you know, and the shinier that the object is, the shinier that the company is, the more distracting it can be, you know, and they try and make it that way because they want to somehow draw you away from what you're doing and go with them. And if the first thing that a lot of people do, a friend of mine, he told me that what he did was he basically he would poison the person. He would poison the person as far as like, what they were doing. So he would start dripping on them with poison, and he would find all the little things that were wrong with what you were doing. Like, oh, hey, did you know that Encompass 360 isn't available? Is it, he would say, is it ever going to be available? Did they drop it? Did they drop their multiple vitamin? And see, he would poison people. And what he didn't realize was that, hey, look, Encompass 360 was taken off the market for a short period of time because we couldn't get some of the ingredients, and we could have put cheaper ingredients in there and we could have put it back on the market right away. But as a company, our leadership at the top decided we're not going to do that. If we can't get the top of the line best ingredients, we're not going to put the product on the market. And you wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known. Nobody would have known if they would have slid those inferior ingredients into it. But somebody outside the company that follows the teachings of this guy that, I mean, we were friends, we're no longer friends. They would have used that to poison you, to try and get you to look at their shiny new object. Well, this last week, I've had 2 or 3 other companies that have called me, and they're calling and they're saying, hey, Kurt, that old company of yours, and right away I said, don't do that. Don't poison what I'm doing. I love where I'm at, and I'm just going to hang up on you if you do that. And that, folks, is really what you need to do. You just got to, you stand with what you're doing. And I mean, if you believe in it, like I believe in it, and you've heard me talking about belief, you have to have your belief. But here's what I said. Your company just started up last week. It just, and he said, oh, no, we haven't even launched yet. Grab a spot for free. It's free. And I'm like, well, there's a reason that they give it to you for free, because it's kind of a bait and switch type of a thing. Here, sign up for free, and then, oh no, it's going to cost you money. Sign up for free. Oh no, it's going to cost you money down the road. But it's a way of getting you to take a look at what they're doing, and then what they're doing, what they're hoping is that you can throw enough, I'm going to say stuff, but you know what I'm saying. If you throw enough stuff at the wall, some of it's going to stick. Throw enough stuff at the wall, it's going to stick. It's kind of like mud, but it's not. And that's kind of what they're hoping when they build those companies. So it's free. Sign up now. They use all the the right word. Top position. That's the thing about getting into network marketing, is that you want to be on the top. Well, aren't we all on the top of our own network? I mean, I don't have an upline. Sisel is my upline. I don't have an upline. I'm on the top, and I'll tell you, it's probably harder to build when you're on the top, because you don't have anybody helping you. You don't have any leadership above you giving you any kind of advice. You don't have anybody where you can call them up and you can say, hey, I'm having a little bit of trouble with this. And so we're all kind of on the top of our own little business. And I try and tell people, when you're building your business, just build it as if, what if you don't have anybody in your business? And what if you don't have anybody above you? What if it's just you and you're just getting started today? What are you going to do? If you want to be successful, what are you going to do? And I want you to think about that. What are you going to do? If you want to be successful and you don't have an upline and you don't have a downline, you have nothing, it's just you just got started, what are you going to do? Well, first thing I'm going to tell you is that I'm going to pick a company that's got a track record, right? I want to pick a company. Over 90% of companies, I think it's like close to 97% of companies fail in their first 5 years. So am I going to pick a brand new company that just launched today they've got a 3% chance that they're going to make it. 3%. No. Hey, they might be the best. They might have great leadership, but there's a 3% chance that in 5 years they're going to be there. So here we got Sisel. Sisel, by the way, is 16 years old. And we just completed our best year ever as far as global sales. Think about that. 16-year-old company just finished our best year on global sales. And we weren't having crummy sales before. We were having good sales before, but we had the best year ever. And I'm going to say that 2022 is going to be better than 2022 or 21. 2021 was the best year ever. 2022 is going to be better than that. Now, that's the train I want to jump on. That's the train I want to jump on. I want to get on a moving train. I want to get on a train that's moving forward. We've got great products. We've gotten rid of the extra baggage. I'm going to call it extra baggage. We've gotten rid of the extra baggage, the stuff that was slowing us down. We've worked through the problems. We've worked through some issues. Hey, I'm going to tell you what, in today's world, the market is changing all the time. The way that we run businesses is changing all the time. The things that we do. I mean, just look, the internet. I mean, if you're getting started with one of those old companies, the ones that were around 30 years ago, if they didn't evolve and develop things that could be sold over the internet, wow, I'm telling you, you're getting involved with a dinosaur. Internet. You got to be able to have that. You got to be able to have an app. You got to be able to have a way of sharing information online. And then you got to have another way of sharing it, brochures and, the old school way. We've got that. We've got that. We've got those things in place. And we've worked the bugs out, a couple of years ago. I'll tell you what, we had some problems. We switched computer systems. We had some problems. We had some issues. Whew, did we have issues? We fixed them, right? I have no problem saying, hey, we had issues. We fixed them. So when we're looking at a network marketing company, don't always look at the shiny new object. Don't look at the fact that, hey, you can be on the very top. When you're on the top, there's only so many people that can be on top, and somebody's going to be trying to push you down. They're going to be trying to shove you down because they want to be king of the mountain. And so I wanted to talk about that tonight, and I wanted to just really share, when we're building this business, it's a great business to build. We can build this thing with 3 people. And if you've been on these calls before, you've heard me talking that I can help you build a business if you can find 3 people who make sense of it all. Now, if they just want to buy products and they want to find their health and that, okay, you need more than 3. We're looking for 3 people who understand the concept of business building. And if you can find those 3, and I know you can, according to the top iconic leaders in network marketing, Eric Worre and others, they say that we can all find 3. Now, I'm not going to tell you it's going to happen overnight. It might not be the first 3 people that you find. You might find somebody that joins you and they get started and they look like, oh, they're just going gangbusters. And then all of a sudden, they see a shiny new object over there and they go flying off. They go fluttering off like a butterfly. We have those friends that are butterflies that'll flutter off over here. You got to replace them. So that's why you don't want to find 3 and stop. You want to look for your 4th, then your 5th, then your 6th. And, and you build 3 at a time and you help those 3 find 3 and you help those 9 find 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And then you help those 9 find 3. That's 27. And if you're following the concept and you're buying the amount of volume, which is 300 PV every month, that allows you to participate in every aspect of the compensation plan. So you're not letting money roll back to the company, right? I believe in keeping the money ourselves. I don't believe in letting the money roll back. Keep it for yourself. And I can show you how to do that. So find those three, get them in touch with me, get them in touch with one of the other leaders, and we can make this thing work. Katie, I know you thought I was going to go overtime. Yeah. I'm not. I'm
Great.
done.
Fantastic. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for watching today. If you've just tuned in watching us live, welcome, or if you're watching the recording. So I'm just going to share my screen here, Dr. Kurt. I've got some great slides for everyone. Let me just, my camera's turning a little bit on an angle here. Just trying to fix that. It's not stuck properly. That's okay. All right. So today we wanted to talk about detoxing your gut. So really important subject. And Kurt, before we get into it, why is gut health so important in your opinion?
I'll tell you what, the gut is it's basically it's the access to the rest of your body, because you know they found that the healthy bacteria in your gut communicate with your brain, and your brain is like your epicenter of your body. So it's that important. Plus 70% of your immune system is found in your gut. Who wouldn't want a strong immune system?
Absolutely. And that's a great intro. So today we wanted to talk about detoxing your gut and the importance of that. But before I get started, a quick disclaimer: statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The products discussed today are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness. And if you are taking prescription medication or have a pre-existing condition, please seek your healthcare provider. Great. So I wanted to start with talking about constipation just quickly. I've talked about this topic quite a few times, and it actually affects the majority of people at some stage in their life. They will experience this issue, and some people have it as an ongoing issue. So I wanted to raise this. This will lead into, our detox conversation. There is actually a chart, a poop chart, Kurt. You might have heard of it, the Bristol stool chart, and it tells you if you're on track with going to the toilet. So we're going to have a quick look at that today. You might not go to the toilet every day, and you may actually be creating a backlog of waste matter in your digestive tract, which is very, very long and can hold a lot of waste matter. So it is important to make sure you're going regularly to the toilet. And only 5% of people in the United States reach the recommended daily intake for fiber. So fiber is really important in your diet, 25 grams for women and 38 for men. And fiber really helps to move everything through your digestive tract and eliminate waste from your bowels. A lot of people are eating lots of carbs that are devoid of fiber, a lot of takeaway food and processed food, and we've just, the fiber's been stripped from it. So this is something to pay attention to. And unfortunately, often you cannot turn over the packet and look at the fiber content on a processed packet because, certainly in Australia, I'm pretty sure in the US too, Australia and New Zealand, under the government guidelines, laws for labeling products, it is not a requirement to put fiber on the packet. So you may have no idea, because even if they did, the majority of them have little to none if it's processed. So just important note there. This is the chart here. So you can see that type 4 and type 3 in the normal range. That's the ideal. And if you're at the type 5, 6, or 7, you've got a problem. And certainly if you've got type 2 or 1, you also have a problem. So this is a really good guideline, and people can use this, to guide themselves for their overall health, because as Kurt said, your immune system starts in your gut. So you've got to get this part right. There's no point trying to fix all other things on your body if you haven't got this part right. This is a photograph I pulled off the internet, just showing someone who's constipated on an X-ray. So you can see where the circles are. There's waste matter that needs to be exited from the bowel. And you can see it's even right under the rib there, because the bowel runs up and just under the rib cage there. So you can have constipation feeling it there, which is not where people would expect. So just important to note. So what's the problem with issues with the gut? So, lots of issues can happen as a result of problems. And if you're not on track with the Bristol stool chart, which I just showed before, you probably can be heading towards having one of these problems potentially. Diverticulitis is very common. Crohn's is related to obviously bowel problems. You have a higher risk of bowel cancer if you're not moving your bowels regularly. Parkinson's, celiac disease, ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel, and inflammatory bowel disease. All these issues are gut related. And these can cause a number of issues that layer upon top of that, I guess, or that are part of that. So some of those that we mentioned just a second ago are autoimmune disorders, but you can also start to have the ladies have hormonal imbalances. And here, this point is really important: inflammation and mucoid plaque buildup, and that impedes nutrient absorption, which we're going to touch on. And this can result in fatigue, headaches, gut aches, feeling sluggish. If your bowels aren't moving, you're not going to feel very good. You might get a bit foggy in the head. You'll start to feel fatigued, just don't have the energy because, your system, things are not moving through your system as they need to be. So you can also suffer from candida as common, fungal infections, parasites, bacteria. And there's a condition with autoimmune problems called leaky gut. And that's where the junctions of the cell wall get a gap in them and they're damaged and they start allowing particles to pass into the bloodstream. So we'll have a little look at that in a second. And this can result in lots of different issues. People also suffering from eczema and skin conditions, rashes can be related to the gut. So that is really important to note. So this picture here just shows the normal gut with tight junctions at the top. That's how the cells should be in your lining of your intestinal tract. And with leaky gut, you can see they become loose and little particles start to float through, and that can kick off immune reactions in your body. So as Kurt said, yeah, your gut is your second brain. If you don't feel good in your stomach, if your bowel's not moving well, you're not going to feel good overall for sure. So solution, I always like to talk about health and lifestyle things that you can do, not just talk about supplements, because there's lots, you really can't just take a tablet and magically fix everything. That's never going to happen. It requires a multifaceted approach. You need to look at all different angles when you're trying to look after your bowel health and trying to do a detox. So we've talked about fiber-rich foods. So they're all your plant-based foods and legumes, nuts, and seeds. You want to have plenty of water. You want to avoid foods that contribute to constipation or avoid eating too many, obviously. So all animal products and processed foods basically don't have any fiber. So they're not going to move through. They need fiber to be pushed through. So you want to have a good balance in your diet. You don't want to eat too much of that type of food. Fulvic acid is really great to support the body and help with leaky gut. And so we're going to touch on that in a second. And doing a bowel cleanse to remove mucoid plaque and backlog of matter is really, really important if you want to maintain your overall health. And this is something that you could consider doing, say, once every 3 months at least, making sure that, you've done that detox and you've got things moving. But more importantly, that you are on a daily basis eating enough fiber and drinking enough water, taking a pre and probiotic and helping your body fight inflammation. So I wanted to share this video here. Actually, I might need to do a new share here. This video, and I want to thank Ian because he pulled this together a while ago. And it's a video of, it's a little bit gruesome, but it really drives the point home. So the stuff that I'm talking about is really highlighted in this video. And this is a camera inside somebody's small intestines and showing the lining of the small intestine. So I'm going to share this here.
An amazing product. I believe that Dr. A has explained just about every part of that product, every ingredient, and it's a very versatile and very extensive product that caters for areas of the liver, cleansing the liver, mucoid plaque from the GI system. Now, what I'm going to do here is Dr. Becky, she mentioned in the video about the buildup of mucoid plaque. So this following video clip is an example of mucoid plaque buildup in the colon. You'll see that it's fairly graphic. Now, this is a normal colon. It's nice and clean, and it will provide you with great health. This one here is an unhealthy colon, 35-year-old. And you can see here that in this video that we're showing that the colon is very impacted. It has a sticky substance coming right down it, which is impairing the flow of the stool. This one here is a 21-year-old, and you can see here once again there's a lot of sticky goo. And this one here is an amazing one where it's totally impacted. This is on a 65-year-old person, and you are in deep trouble when you have a colon like that. So let's have a look at what the colon does affect and what your GI tract effect has on your body. Just going to have a look at this diagram on the left here, and you'll see here that from the colon point of view, which is down here, is that you have constipation, diarrhea, gas, irritable bowel syndrome, anemia, malnutrition, a spastic colon, malabsorption syndrome, and you'll have rectal, itching, burning, diverticulitis, leaky gut syndrome, Crohn's disease, colon polyps, and cancer. So there's a lot of things that.
So that is a really great video. So thank you, Ian, for sharing that previously. And I wanted to reshare that today because that video really drives home the point. Sorry, let me just go to the next slide. Really drives home the point of how we need to be looking after our bowels and what can be happening on the inside. And it's quite graphical, but it really helps to highlight what's going on down there for many people. So let's talk about products that can support. As we said earlier in today's presentation, nothing here is designed to treat, prevent, or cure, but Sisel also have some fantastic products to support bowel health. So if you're looking to do a detox to help remove that backlog of matter, then these are some great products. So we've got our Balance D, which is a pre and probiotic. It's got chicory root and it's got your different strains of probiotics, as well as it's also got fiber in it. So Sisel use a patented version similar to Fibersol. It's also got vitamin D, and this product really goes to work to help replenish the good bacteria in your gut. We've also got Body Shield, which is a fantastic product, organic fulvic acid, loaded full of fulvates and trace minerals. So this formula is also fortified with limy moo and kelp, which is fantastic. And so this product, if you actually go and do some research on fulvic acid helps with supporting the body's own natural processes, such as detoxing, cellular cleansing, and helping the body to improve nutrient uptake. Fulvates potentially can act like molecular trains and transport heavy metals out. So that's also a possibility with fulvates. Of course, we can't make claims with our particular product. We can only talk about what the ingredients can do. And it's also a super antioxidant. This is just a fantastic product to add in if you're looking to do a detox. And of course, we can't go past fucoidan as well, because it contains the 3 types of seaweed extract from the different types of fucoidan. So we spell fucoidan Fucoydon, which is the product name, but fucoidan, Fucoidan, is the ingredient, the extract from seaweed. And we have the 3 types, U, F, and G in there. It's also referred to as mother's milk in China, and it helps the body to fight inflammation. So the big product that you definitely want to be doing, which we've already touched on, is the Supra Detox. So this product is a 4-day cleanse and detox program. It has so many benefits, and we've got a couple testimonials before we finish up to really highlight how good this product can work for someone and may work for you. So if you haven't tried this product, jump on today, purchase the product, maybe add some of those other products I was talking in, and give yourself a good cleanse, give yourself a good detox. So this product supports the removal of the mucoid plaque and excessive fecal matter and backlog. It can support your digestive system. It can support your body and help your body to better absorb nutrients. If you're eliminating all those toxins and clearing out your bowel, then your body's going to work a lot better. And it is important to read and follow the package directions. So I've just put that here, and you adjust kind of the dosage depending on how many bowel movements you're actually having. So there's extra tablets in there beyond what you'd need for 4 days, but it is important just to read the bottle. We also have a fact sheet on that, which is available in your Sisel app. And so you can go through that there. I've got a great testimonial. So I want to finish up today. We're going to just go a couple minutes over. So Rachel Lee provided this testimonial this morning. So thank you, Rachel. She absolutely loves this product. She suffered from many digestive issues such as bloating, cramping, and using Supra Detox, doing the 4-day cleanse. She said she felt like a new woman. No more bloating. She had mental clarity, improved mood and energy, and her skin felt and looked better. And so she does this cleanse every 6 months now, and she feels like it's a total body reset. So really fantastic product. And then I wanted to finish off with this testimonial here. It goes for about 2 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. So this is just checking my share here option. Ian actually was interviewing Rowla a little while back, and we wanted to reshare this because it's just such a great testimonial that Rowla was kind enough to share with us.
My story is not actually about me, it's about my father. He had cancer, and prior to getting cancer, he also had Parkinson's disease, high blood pressure, cholesterol, you name it. So once he got cancer, he was on quite a lot of medication, which in turn he ended up getting quite constipated. And the doctors put him on prescription, what do you call it? I've gone blank.
Medication.
Yeah, medication to help him go to the toilet. But nothing worked. I said, Dad, let's give the Supra Detox a crack. And sorry about that, my dog's barking. So I actually had my father taking one a day. And he, at night prior to going to bed, and he became regular. For a normal person, you know, probably one every day is too much, but Dad was on so many tablets, they were just clogging him up, and the detox actually helped keep him regular. There were days that he had to stop it, but he was so happy. But the doctors would actually say to him, oh, you know, we'll give you the prescription, you know, to help you go. And my dad would say, no, my daughter's fixed me up. It's all good. My story is not actually about me.
So what a great testimonial. Really shows the importance of doing a detox, and Sisel have the perfect products to support you in that endeavor. So that is all from me, Kurt, today, and appreciate you if you've just tuned in or if you're watching the recording, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Katie, thanks for being with us again this weekend. Folks, you know, you listen to all these great products that Katie brings to us every week, and she does a presentation every week like this. And think about it. Who do you know that is having trouble? They're having trouble with their health. Maybe they're just not where they should be. You can build a business on that. All right. Katie, I just wanted to thank you again. Have a happy Easter. Enjoy your weekend. Everyone, thanks for being with us.
Bye.